Hi, welcome to the Panhandle Preppers channel again, and today we're going to talk about how to cook with a Dutch oven. You say, what in the world is that contraption there? Looks like a Tin Man and some kind of spacecraft. Well, I used what I had here. It didn't cost hardly a nickel, and we've got two huge Dutch ovens in there, and they're cooking away with some food. So I'll talk about that in just a minute. We've got our little briquette smokers there, and what we've got there are a bunch of coals firing up. I'm about to replace a bunch of the coals here in the you can hear my dogs there. They don't like something in the background. But anyway, here we go. Let me go ahead and move you closer, and well, let me talk about this. Here we've got a bunch of tiles, and we'll go to the tile one first. What do you see this? This is a pretty cool little contraption that I've got there. Now, what I've got is a bunch of tiles excuse me, that I had left over from my kitchen, and I'll remove a couple of them so you can see what's going on. And let's see how hot they are. Yeah, they're pretty hot. We'll go ahead and put our welding gloves on. They're pretty hot. So I'll remove a couple of these tiles so you can see what's going on here. We'll just throw them on the ground like that. Just some loose tiles. Well, it smells delicious. Move back here now, and let me move this camera here. What we've got is just some tiles on top of a paver block like that you can get at Home Depot or Walmart or something. And there's a Dutch oven on the inside here. Oops, sorry. Let me just adjust my little tripod there. So there's your Dutch oven, and it's got your coals. That's a 12-inch oven. It's got the coals in there, and I think there's enough room. Let me try to pull that lid off. Oh yeah, you pull that lid straight up here. You can set it right here so it doesn't fall off. Give yourself a stir and put her back on there. Just slide her right back in there. And notice the rope that I have around there. That is to hold all of these tiles upright so that they don't fall down. It tightens the gap, the air gap, and so we can get some good heat going on in there. So we'll do that, and we'll do this. Let's adjust that some more. Adjust these a little bit more. Ooh, they're a little warm. A little bit warm. There we go. A little bit warm. There we go. And you can slide this kind of like a damper. Let more air in or less air. So we're gonna move it a little bit. Let a little bit of that air in there. So there's the one Dutch oven, and then here's the other one that's cooking. Right over here. Adjust the old camera here. There's the other one. And we'll move you even closer so you can take a good solid look here. There's your second Dutch oven. This is my big one. I like cast iron cooking. I think it's great. And as you know from my other videos here lately, my oven blew up. So I'm forced to cook. On my days off, we're going to have to cook a lot of food all at once because the oven doesn't work. So there we go. Check this thing out. So we'll go ahead. Oh, notice the aluminum on there. The aluminum was free. I got it out of an old kitchen that was done being a kitchen, like a restaurant style kitchen. I cut that aluminum out, and I just very quickly used some rivets, and I made a little shield. Now with the Dutch oven, what you're going to want to do is back over here for just a second. This idea came from license plates. I saw that somewhere. I read it somewhere, picked it up wherever. They use license plates, and they'll go ahead and they'll just run license plates around, and they'll use like a cord or a bungee cord to keep them nice and tight, to keep the air draft, make it like an oven. So you have to provide, they call it thermal mass. So you've got concrete on the bottom, and then you've got thermal mass around it of some kind. Tile works awesome. This isn't exactly thermal mass, but it's like you know, like a heat shield. So there's the top. It was already had a hole in it. I just used it, manufactured it, bent it around a little bit. And so here's the top of this one. Oh, that smells wonderful. And as you can see, let me come in a little closer, see if you can pick this up. Let me adjust my little camera doohickey. There you go. See, Again, the thermometer on there says almost 400. See it right there? It says about 400. So there you go. There's your 14-inch Dutch oven, 400 on top. It's obviously hotter on the bottom. And I'm going to lift off the lid, and I'm going to place it on this other tile next to me. And we're going to give it a nice little stir. I don't drop that over there. So I'll go ahead and lift off this lid. Quick little transition. Lid on the tile. And look at that. Oh my. You see that baby simmer? Take a little handy dandy spoon and give it a nice, oh yeah, it's looking good. It's looking really good. I don't even have to add coals to this. I could just let this baby go. I might have to add some more, a little more liquid in there. It's cooking so fast. So that's good. I'll just let that baby go. So what I'm going to do actually is probably maybe lift that heat shield up or turn it so that it gets a little bit more draft on the bottom so it doesn't get so hot. In other words, I can regulate the temperature. If I want to, I can pull the heat shield off if I want to. If I want to let it cool off, let's say it's boiling. I want to let some air circulation in there. Or maybe what I could do is do something like this where I'm going to put the shield back on and I'm going to turn it like that so that on the back side, I'll show you what I'm talking about. If I can adjust my camera with these big old gloves on. On the back side over there, there you go, I'm creating more space, airspace, so that it's not quite as hot. So you can regulate your temperature that way. If you keep a temperature gauge in there, you can kind of keep a look on it. And just from experience of playing with these ovens for a little while, you kind of get to know what needs to be done. But basically, you just want to go ahead and, that's also what you want to do is turn it. I forgot to mention that, is you want to actually turn the oven once in a while. So you want to lift up the handle, 2 hands if it's real heavy, just spin it, half a turn, good to go. Get that thing out of there. See, I have it's not working, this one's broke, but there's an oven thermometer I will place down on the bottom to get a good reading on the bottom, and that way you can keep a good accurate heat on there. So I'm going to keep the lid off to let some of that heat escape so it doesn't boil away and go crazy. So there's your Dutch oven with your heat shield. Pretty cool, isn't it? And then what you do is there's a couple things there. I've got some papers on the inside. Maybe what I'll do is I'll try to find a way to link them up. Actually, I'll tell you what. Hold on, and I'll be right back. Here I come. Thanks for waiting. Oh, there you go. No. Can you see it? Maybe you can now. Let's see. There you go. Good. If you hit pause right now, you could probably read that chart. And all that is a baking temperature chart. Depending on the size of your oven, it'll tell you how many coals on top, how many coals on the bottom. And it comes with a little book that you get inside of your cookware when you buy it, if you buy a brand new one. So let's try this. I know it's a cheap way to do it, I know, forgive me, I'm into cheap stuff, but here's your recipe. Good. Can you get it? Let's see. I know it's really, what a crummy way to do this, but if you pause, you might be able to get it. There's your recipe for my Mexican stew oven recipe. Pretty good. That's in the big one. So if you hit pause, you might be able to get that. But there's the one for the Mexican stew, and I can't wait to taste that. And here's the one for your hobo stew. Now the hobo stew is going to be one that this actually is kind of a recipe from the Great Depression. Hobo stew, they pretty much whatever they've got laying around, you can add in there and add some water if you've got don't have any kind of broth. If you don't have any broth, use water. If you have broth, use broth. I've got rabbit in there, rabbit broth, chicken, sausage, rice, all kinds of stuff. So that's just a guide for you. that, I know, sorry, it's kind of crummy and shaky, but at least you get something to go by. That's in a 12-inch Dutch oven. Hit your pause button, play around with it. If you want to get it bad enough, you'll get it there. That's your hobo stew stuff there. So, all right, so there's your Dutch oven stuff. Pretty cool, huh? All right, there's your Dutch oven, and my other briquettes are ready to go. They're nice and hot. And here's a little bit of story for you that's a little interesting. Is today, when I came home from running some errands, my let me bear with my shakiness. My rooster came out of his cage, and he was just walking around. And there he is. He's just hanging out back there. Check him out. So I think it'll be fun just let him free range a little bit. So there he is. He got out of that cage right there. He's just running around, popping around. There he is. So he's pretty cool. He's been keeping me company all day with this cooking thing. He's just walking around, and he keeps walking over to the other pen here, sticking his head in there, cage fighting with my other ones. It's hilarious. But there he is. So, well, any questions here? I'll try not to be too shaky. Any questions here with this Dutch oven? Just let me know. I'll try to be helpful to you. Use what you've got. Your concrete pavers, your heat shield, tile, string, rope, right? And there you go. And the briquettes, they are hot, ready to go. I always keep 2 of them going. I always want to have plenty of coals. And you can reuse the old coals once they're been used up. So, all right. Well, thanks for watching.